Hello, this is Wayne, and this is where we sort of left off in the last video. If you watch my introduction video, which is just pretty much the opening video to the game, this is we're looking at Final Fantasy VIII, which is my introduction to the Final Fantasy series back in 2001. That entire summer, me and my friend Cody pretty much played this game religiously. I still played this game religiously up until 2005, I think. Not too sure about that. I think, yeah, right up around 2005. And this, to me, is one of the best Final Fantasies ever made. I know some will say 7, some will say 10. I think this is one of the best Final Fantasies and really showed what Final Fantasy could do on the PS1. I think it did far superior to 7 in terms of graphics. Like, this is where I think Squaresoft, Square Enix, or Squaresoft at the time, was really going and really worked well. Here's your little mystery character that comes up throughout the entire game and all that. Now, you might ask, why did I want to do old retro gaming, especially this one? This, to me, is one of my all-time favorite video games of all time, with hands down. There's Quiztis there saying, sort of her motherly thing, I guess, her little romance there for Squall. Now, later on in the game, like, if I can rename characters, I know I can pretty much name every GF. The only ones I keep pretty much the same are Quetzalcoatl and Shiva and all that, just because I didn't know what else to name them at the time. And I forgot to do commentary of the opening video. Just wanted to see how it'd work. I know in this video there is some lag. I apologize for it now. Sort of with music. My computer's just really old and it's a piece of shit. And haven't really had the money in the last few years to upgrade it and everything. Just decided, try it out for this, see how it goes. I'm not sure if I really, at what rate I'd want to do gaming commentary about how often I'd put out a video. It might be once a day, once every other day, depending on when I have time. I work on top of this, so this really, for me, is pretty much what I do after work. Just play video games, talk to the girlfriend. Thursdays, you pretty much won't see a video from me at all. That's just the day where I don't do anything except talk to the girlfriend and have that one day a week. Now, I even look at the graphics for this game, and even for PS1, they're sort of pushing where they'd go on PS2. I think it sort of was a huge evolution in 2 years, and even look at games like Parasite Eve is a prime example. 2000's Vagrant Story, Legend of Dragoon is another one where I think graphically the game started to get more intense, and it was such a leap, I think, from where the Super Nintendo and Genesis ended off until the end of the PS1 era was just a quantum leap in graphics. And what gaming companies were doing at the time, and this is really, here's Quizdas going on her little rant now. If you guys want me to read these out as I'm watching them every now and then, I will do that. If you guys want. If you have any suggestions, just leave them in the comment section down below. I'm not sure if I'm going to do all the side quests in the game, unless you guys want me to. The only thing I think I am pretty much certain is, the only stuff I won't show in this video is the end. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm not sure yet. That can change. That might even be a special video and all that. Sort of walking around here, there's sort of a point to it that I forgot until I went, then realized, oh shit, you have to go talk to her and do this, is if you go to the junction thing, like go to your computer there and click on the tutorial, it'll give you all your GF information and you can use it right there. But this game, wow, like even over Final Fantasy VII was quite a leap. Which is pretty much about, I believe, a year and a half, 2 years. I'm not exactly sure when this game came out. I know it was in 1999, which even for 1999, I look at it, and even look at games in 2000, I'm like, holy fuck, like Final Fantasy IX came out the next year. Legend of Dragoon came out, it was just phenomenal. Vagrant Stories, another game that came out that was pretty good graphically. Chrono Cross, I believe, came out in 99, 2000. That was another phenomenal fucking game. Parasite Eve 2 was a great game. Like, this is right along when gaming companies were going pretty much to the extreme to get the most out of these systems, and it really showed. Here's sort of where it goes through a lot of stuff. As I said, you sort of seen there where I did the whole GF thing. And then you go, yeah, pretty much I'm done there. Some of this is going to be... I'm not sure yet if I'll do battles, like show you some of my random battles, or if I'll just do story. Like, there are sometimes, unless I have like something I want to really talk about, I might just talk about it over video of random battles. But I'm thinking I might do the side quests, like the GFs and all that, or summons, or whatever you want to call them. But this game also features one of my favorite GF/summons of all time, and that would be Diablos, which I thought was a phenomenal character. I'm sort of sad. I'm not sure if they ever did bring him back for any Final Fantasies outside of this. This might have been the one time they used Diablos, and he really worked well. Had a kick-ass move called Dark Messenger, which I'll show you later in the game. All this stuff I'm talking about, you'll at least see it throughout the game. So, this is where the game really started to lag a bit for me. I know some people are like very keen on like no lag at all in their videos. I just say, you know what, this is like one of my first videos. I can always get better at this. Just trying to figure out the system and how it's working, and about how long to keep my videos. Like, there are some missions, and this is what I want to know now. Like, there are missions where these could get pretty long, and just wondering if you guys want me to break them up into parts. Like, Dalit mission has like 2 parts to it, which is one till you get to a tower, and then the second half is escaping a guy. Now, do you want me to do that as 2 parts, or do you just want me to do one long ass video? And yeah, and this again, this is where it really started to lag right along this part here. Now, I know Final Fantasy X and X-2 are coming out pretty soon for the PS3. They remade it and everything, and I'm almost gonna ask you guys, do you guys want me to do a series on that, which is one of my all-time favorite Final Fantasies, along with this. I think 10 was the last great one they ever did. 11, 10-2 and 11 sorta. 11 never felt like Final Fantasy to me. It always felt like World of Warcraft. It always had that World of Warcraft feeling. I hate World of Warcraft. I can't stand the game. I always thought it was one of those very overrated games or whatever that people like for some reason. I'm not a big fan of it. 12 I absolutely despised. Some might look at me and say, what do you mean you despised 10? I hated 12. I hated 12 from the aspect that 12 really did suck. And it felt like Final Fantasy 2.0. Everything felt ripped off in that game. Like, it felt like Final Fantasy 9, really. In terms of story, like, the whole story felt like it. They just recycled 9 and called it 12, and the ending, it was so fucking short. It felt, I waited so long for that game to come out. Bought it first date, played it, beat it, and after I beat it, there are very few games that'll say this, that I felt so bad playing. This is where I go equip Shiva. Now, with equiptions and all that, if you guys want to leave down in the comments section, like how you'd equip your guys, or if you played the game and how you equipped them and worked very well for you. It also gets into another thing. I'm not sure if I talked about this, but there are different strategies for this game. Some people say always run away and always keep yourself at a very low level and try never to gain experience. Other people say beat it or go up levels and just beat the game. I'm under the impression that I just want to go up, get as high a level as I can and beat it. Some say, well, the guys, and it sort of ties into that you're attacking everything and how strong the bosses will be, because it's sort of with your level. Here, as soon as right now, here is always a good thing to have in any Final Fantasy. Helps in case you get like poison or something, or something that you need to cure a character. Here I'm looking for a special magazine or whatever that's in the game and all that, the Occult Fan. It's just like a little newspaper clipping like thing. Some of this is good in the game because of it. Like you get Occult Fans and all that, gives a little story, brief history on some stuff. But going back to my other thing, talking about Final Fantasy 12, it just really felt terrible after beating it. And even going back to my on how to play this, how it is, I'd rather beat a boss when he's the absolute strongest. Because then it feels like a lot more of a challenge. If you just beat him while you're like both low levels, you sort of feel ripped off. And this is really where the game started to lag quite a bit. Sorry about the quality of this. This is one of my first videos. Just if you guys can give any tips or suggestions on stuff on how I can improve this, like, might just be me going through here and just really fine-tuning a lot of stuff. Like I hadn't quite fine-tuned a lot of this stuff yet. Here's some configurations. Also, another thing I want to know. Active time battle. Do you guys want me to have it under wait, where it waits till I make my move before the opponent can attack? Or can it be active where the opponent can attack any time? That's something I'd like to know. Controller, I like to leave the same. I'm just so used to it. It was kind of weird going from 8 to 7 and then seeing that change. And controller up here is another draw point. I always try and find all these to try and... It helps especially later in the game. And with once you get mods and all that. Like you seen up there, I grabbed cards. Cards aren't bad to have. Like they can be used for a lot of stuff. Like modding and all that on this game. And once again, these junction tutorials I won't bother showing you at all, because I can just show you and maybe do a recap on what I'm doing later on in the game. Now it's off to Fire Cavern! Yay! Fire Cavern! And I think that's where I'll end it, is once I reach Fire Cavern. That's where I'm going to end the game. Junction Quistis here very quickly, after changing them for the order. Junction of Quetzalcoatl. I don't really use Quetzalcoatl with her all that much, because I just don't see the point. GF. Pretty much draw and magic all you need for her. You could put item there. It's all relative to what you're doing. Fire Cavern is very important, which I'll talk about later for some stuff. And I just didn't bother here walking through here a lot to show a battle or anything. I just wanted to get to Fire Cavern and the video right up here. And this is about where I'm going to end it. Guys, thanks pretty much for watching this. It actually does mean a lot that if you guys can like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you think. This is Wayne here, just